Yeah. Furious. Okay. Yeah. It definitely damages the relationship. Yeah. And that's the problem. But we're unconscious most of the time. We don't even know we're doing it. We also have expectations. Anyone go into meetings with clients and you find they've got a whole lot of expectations? You go back to another meeting with them, the expectations have changed, doesn't everybody bother telling you about it? Yeah, we all do it all the time. Yeah, so function system 1 saves us a huge amount of energy. Yeah, as does having unconscious biases. We have loads and loads of unconscious biases. Of course, we don't know about them. The most famous unconscious biases are things like the placebo effect. Yeah, you know about that? We're taking a pill that has no medicinal benefits, can persuade people that they can feel better. We have no idea, no one knows how it works. All the brilliant minds in the world, no one knows how the placebo effect works. There's also, I'll tell you, I saw happening this morning, happens every time I do a workshop, this thing called the, what's the word? Yeah, I've got it written down. I'm wasting my time thinking about it when I've got it here. Availability bias, that was the word. I started with P and I go, it doesn't start with P. The availability bias means that we bias people that are close to us, that's there. And when I see it, when I say get into pairs, and people go, you Kevin. Always, yeah. Ever you heard of the gambler's fallacy? Brilliant. This is that once, if they're on a run, they think the run's going to change. Yeah. So if you're in a casino and you're black or red, all black must come up. It's still random. Yeah. But we come up with all this stuff because it saves us energy. Human beings are incredibly sensitive. We are completely aware of our environment all the time, and we influence each other all the time. Again, it's much easier to influence somebody than persuade them. My evidence for you on this is, if you go on a train travel, does anyone use the quiet carriage? Just me. Good, stay out of it, I like a nice and quiet. So what happens in the quiet carriage is you're not meant to use your phone. You can speak to someone in there, but you keep your voice down, that's the rules. And invariably, somebody will answer their phone. And invariably, everyone else will go. We won't actually get up and say, excuse me, it's the quiet carriage, would you like to go outside? That's the rule. Yeah? We prefer to influence rather than persuade, which is far more effort. Yeah? And the final attribute of each system is that we have limiting beliefs. So we had a perfect example earlier, thank you very much, that's why I asked and I quoted, and you said, if I remember the words correctly, and I'm not sure I do, I couldn't even work it out. I didn't know how to work it out. Okay. But what a brilliant way, when you come up with that idea, that's a limiting belief, I can't work it out, I'm no good at maths. Who thought I'm no good at maths? Well, yeah. It's a limiting belief, yeah? But it saved you the effort of doing the work. If I said, I've got a friend, just showing off, who likes to run, and she runs marathons, and she said to me, Nick, should we go into the London Marathon next year? And I went, I can't do that. Look at the energy I've saved. Look at the effort I've saved. Just by having that thought. And we've got loads of these. I'm not good enough, I'm not okay, all that stuff. That once we put a bit of emotion on it, we definitely feel it's the case. It's not the truth, we've all got these beliefs, and they keep us from expending energy. Great, eh? Maybe. Let's have a look what happens when all of our brain is together, i.e. our system 1 and our system 2. That's where trust lies. You can't build trust if your system 2 is on standby mode, which for most of us it is most of the time. When you came in today on the tube, how much personal space did you have? Yeah? It feels to us like we're under attack. A mild form of attack, but it's pressure. All that stuff puts us into fight or flight. If you're in fight or flight, you're not able to access your system 2. So you can't trust, you can't be trustful, you can't be open, yeah, because that's where your openness is. All our creativity sits in system 2, and your empathy lives in system 2. So if you ever walk past, I'm sure you have walked past a homeless person, and suddenly you're overwhelmed by the sadness of the situation where we, the 6th richest country in the world, have people sleeping on the streets. It's just like, it can be overwhelming, the feeling of it, yeah? And then other times you walk past a homeless person and you feel nothing, you know? It's not that you're bad, it's just that your system 2 wasn't on and your empathy wasn't available to you, yeah? And all this stuff is dependent, comes and goes. And of course, I've left it to last, your ability to collaborate requires your whole brain, your system 1 and your system 2. And if you feel that you are in competition with someone else, if you have your agenda, or worse, you feel they have an agenda and they're trying to persuade you to do this, you then go into defensive mode and you don't collaborate. It's not your fault, you're trying to collaborate, you think, but all this happens unconsciously, we're completely unaware of it. And so all of this stuff is so important to recognise the internal factors that affect collaboration. And in fact, I was talking to Mia when we were walking through the office just now, and I was looking at all of your spaces that you sit in and you have your meetings, and every single one of them has a physical barrier between people. Notice, I don't want a physical barrier. I ask for the room to be set up like this. I don't want barriers between us. I want to be able to trigger into your best version of yourselves. Let's check in on the time. We've got 10 minutes. Perfect timing. I want to give you the opportunity to have one more go at collaborating as a group. Now, ideally, what I'd like is one person to volunteer to be with me and to be an observer / judge, while everyone else participates in the game. I'm looking for a volunteer. Thank you very much. Even though your hand was higher, just a microsecond too slow. So, lovely. So, to do this, we're going to need to create space. So, first we need to get into two equal teams. So if we've lost Bethany out of the team, Beth or Bethany? Right. I've learned. Because I can just go, I only have one first cousin called Beth. So my initial is called Beth. Don't do that, you know. We're not meant to collaborate. And I make, it's not my fault. I'll do 2 mistakes. Lovely. So we need to do 2 equal teams. And then can you move the chairs out the way at the back so you've got plenty of room. In fact, you can, if you want to move both the chairs, all the chairs, perfect. Oh dear. Now ahead. Thank you. Right, so can you get yourself into 2 teams? I think there'll be 2 teams of 7. So it was proximity bias. Proximity bias, they're going, look, well, we're okay, we're here. We're not a gang. Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, so can we have one of you down here and one of you along here? And then I'm going to get you in certain positions. So can you, in your groups, can you go into, so 4 in one line, 3 in the other, facing interactive. So if I was, 1, 2, then 1 here. No, you stay where you are.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. You go into, you face the gap.
Okay.
Yeah, face the gap. Face the gap. They worked it out. What a team. Lovely. Brilliant. So let me explain what I'm going to do. We'll wait for the remedial group to catch up. I'd like to take your, beforehand, anyone got a bad back? Anyone got any movement restrictions? No, good, okay, good. I don't want anyone down. Shouldn't do anything. It's not that physical, don't worry. So can you take your right forefinger, and place it in front of you like this in about chest height, no, facing that way. And do it in such a way that if I was to put something that I can lean it on all of it, like that. Perfect.
Are we all the same height?
Like. So you might need to jump a little closer together, and every one of you need to be, so this stick needs to be on the finger, so you might need to shuffle up. Cozy, down.
Easy, guys.
Just, just listen to me for a second. I'll hold the stick. I'll hold the stick a second. Let me explain what clearly, time is of the essence. I'll get you out here on time. Collaboration. So your job is to ensure that your finger remains in contact with the stick at all times. It sits on your finger. Your finger does not do that. Your thumb, you keep your thumbs out of it, sits on your finger, and you stay at all times. If your finger comes away from the stick, either Bethany or myself will alert you to that, and then that attempt is aborted and you have to start again. Okay?
Yeah.
So your job, you don't know what you're doing. How can you be discussing how to see how quickly we get our own agenda? It's fascinating. Yeah. So your job is, as a team, while connected to the stick at all times, to lower the stick to the floor. Okay? Easy enough. Good luck. Which one are you? Which one is this one? Okay, here we go, team. Oh, you are in competition, of course.
It's not low.
No, you're starting at chest height. You're not. Okay, you're not touching. Start again. 1, 2, 3, tap. You're tapping.
Down one. You guys, you need to go down. I think it's you that needs to go. It feels like we're not going down. Maybe it's heavier. If I'm going down,
You want to start? Middle mid first. Just
You're on the top, please.
everyone needs to just do it sometime. You can't go
1, 2, 3, drop.
Now your fingers can restart again.
That's
Slow it. What's the pace set? What's his hand? Ready? 3, 2, 1.
From your knees, go. What's your name? Go down.
It's stopping it moving.
Everyone your hands.
Compared to this end, so that's just
Okay, just pause a second.
You're right, that's the
So, question: why is the stick going up, not down? That's the question.
Because everybody's trying to support and still make sure they touch.
Because you've all got your own agenda. Hang on, one second. What's your agenda? What's your individual agenda? Keep your finger on it. And the only way you can do that is when you push up. And this is what we do. We push up to make sure our finger's on it instead of allowing it to sit on our finger. And then, as we've had demonstrated here by Sam, you need to take a risk and you need to show leadership, like Sam did. So you need to, he's well on it. You need to follow what he's doing and trust that you can do it. Okay? So someone needs to show some leadership to do it. Because we've got to be out of here in less than 2 minutes.
Come on, Dave.
say it's Matt and Jess that need to be in control.
Jess, stop doing that.